We're going to take a step back and we're going to go to Phoenix. We're going on the other side of the country. Why? This is where the FBI is now weighing in after a day of just confusion over the legitimacy of the alleged kidnapping notes in the Nancy Guthrie case. Now, before I even read you their statement from earlier, let me just catch you up to speed on how we got here last night. We told you about a Reuters report citing an FBI official who said that all 3 communications linked to the case had been determined to be fake. And then today, TMZ, which, by the way, received some of those messages directly, reported that its law enforcement sources said that the Reuters report is not accurate, disputing the claim that investigators determined all 3 ransom notes were hoaxes. Those communications included 2 alleged ransom notes that were sent days after Nancy disappeared, the first demanding millions in cryptocurrency, the second reportedly claimed that Nancy had died. And then just last week, TMZ reportedly received another message from someone claiming to know the identities of Nancy's abductors. And now, after all of these conflicting reports, this afternoon, the FBI's Phoenix office issued this statement. Quote, the FBI task force partners have received several ransom notes over the course of the investigation. Some have been deemed to be extortion attempts without legitimacy. Other ransom demands may potentially be legitimate and are still being investigated as such. This case continues to be investigated as a kidnapping for ransom case. The FBI has and will continue to offer all assistance possible in the investigation. However, local authorities remain the lead. So what do we make of these conflicting reports? What do we make of that statement? Do they change anything about the investigation into Nancy's disappearance? I'm joined now by Sheryl McCollum, an active crime scene investigator in Metro Atlanta who's worked on high-profile cases from Tupac Shakur to the Zodiac Killer. She's also the author of Swans Don't Swim in a Sewer. My pirate ship buddy. Good to see you again, Sheryl.
Good to see you, too.
The FBI statement's interesting. They weren't very specific, were they, about which notes they were talking about?
They were non-committal, may, potentially. That's non-committal.
What is it? Is it that they're not being honest? I mean, how after all this time do they not know whether the notes are legitimate or not and still investigating it?
I think all of us are pretty sure they're not legitimate. There's nothing about them that rings true. If this was about ransom, Jesse, they have just failed spectacularly. What I'm looking for now, write a letter that doesn't tell me you have a secret phone hidden somewhere in secret that contains a video of the main kidnapper. You're telling me you videoed the person? That means you were in the room with them? You were part of it?
Yeah,
it makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. I need them to write a letter to explain the blood on the front porch. Tell me how that blood got there, because I see 4 distinct patterns. Explain it to me.
So Sheryl, I guess I'll push back on that. If you talk about some of the initial notes, weren't there aspects of those notes that only somebody who would have abducted Nancy would have known, whether it was the back porch light or the Apple Watch, I believe? And, you know, look, one of the concerning aspects of Nancy being taken was not only the fact that she's 84 years old, but she was in need of her medication. There was concern that could she survive days from an abduction. They said, you know, she died and it wasn't intentional. To me, there seemed aspects of it where this might be legitimate. Even Savannah Guthrie in her interview had said there was a thought that these notes might be legitimate. And by the way, the FBI did make the point today, they're investigating this as a kidnapping for ransom. Doesn't it make those notes true?
No. If you are telling me they never mentioned that she couldn't walk, they didn't mention she wasn't wearing shoes, they didn't tell us anything that definitively told us they were with her for an extended period of time or that they were in her house. The Apple Watch, immediately they said that her phone and purse and keys and other items were left behind. They told people that she had disconnected from her pacemaker. Well, that's a short walk to figure that out. Again, tell me something that we didn't know before that only you would know. That has yet to happen. They have offered no ransom when she was first taken. It wasn't until after the family discovered her 12 hours later missing. And then when everybody was saying, well, she hasn't been ransomed, suddenly she's ransomed. Jesse, they gave you 2 dates. Who does that? If you don't pay us by Monday, it better be Thursday. Who tells you that? Nobody. Who asked for Bitcoin without knowing Savannah has a Bitcoin account? Who asked for $6 million, an odd amount? These are emails that are letter long emails. These aren't ransom notes to say, I've got your mama, I want $50,000, don't contact the police. That's a ransom note. There's been no proof of life. There's not been a legitimate ransom in 3 months.
Yeah, and it also goes back to the question, if really was an accident, why don't you just say what happened to Nancy, give the location, although you do have to wonder if they actually provided the coordinates, let's say, of where Nancy's remains were, her body.
Right.
You know, there would be evidence there that might link back to them. Look, I guess the other question is, the FBI is also being strategic here in terms of what information they're sharing with the public and potentially the people that took Nancy Guthrie. I mean, there's a part of it where we can all criticize the investigation and the early stages of it, but do you think the FBI is doing something strategic here that maybe we're not thinking about?
I do. I think they are keeping this person in contact so that they can track them down and arrest them for torturing this family, for again, extorting them for money. There's no doubt that, they had the one account and they put a little money in it. The money was never collected. Now you've got this person saying, hey, I only want one Bitcoin. You want $60,000, even though $1 million is on the table? It's bogus. It's not authentic. This is not a ransom note. I truly believe they're trying to draw this person out because he's been quiet for 2 months.
So, all in all, when you're looking at this and this latest development and the confusion that is surrounding just another aspect of this case, I'm just gonna, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I assume you mean this investigation is botched. I mean, how botched do you think this investigation is?
This investigation is so botched. You have not seen Savannah and her family on the same podium as the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff. They should have been standing together, making statements from day one, and we haven't seen that yet. They're not on the same page. It's really sad to see this.
What effect does this all have on a family like Savannah and her family, the mixed reporting on the notes?
Can you imagine? Nobody's told them the straight up truth. Nobody has shown them, hey, this is the playbook we're using. This is how we're going after these people or this single person, which I still believe it's a single individual. Then, she's still left with, is it one person or three? Is she alive? Is she not alive? If she died, when did she die? Is she buried? Where is she buried? I mean, They know nothing. There's no comfort. There's no answers. And the reality for everybody, there is somebody out there that took an 84-year-old woman while she was bleeding from her home. That person needs to be captured.
And there's somebody that has information that just hasn't come forward. Sheryl McCollum, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.